A great Yogi Berra once said baseball is 90% mental, the rest is physical. But between the physical plays we see athletes make, there's a mental component to it.
There certainly is, yeah. And mental health is being talked about more and more, most recently by the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. It's the latest in our ongoing series, Athletes at Risk.
Let's go! Go!
Emotions. We see them during the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat.
This one hurt a lot more though.
But sharing them sometimes makes people uncomfortable.
Saints on three! 1, 2, 3, Saints!
Emily Durr is a goalie for Seton's girls lacrosse team. She's also on the tennis team. She knows the pain of a season-ending injury. She's torn both of her ACLs. Now, she's just hoping coronavirus doesn't shut down her season once again.
I felt that lonely feeling that I had when I tore both my ACLs.
The false hope of a possible season returning brought up the topic of depression and anxiety in athletes in the last 6 months. Then, Dallas Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott talked about his depression and anxiety during the pandemic regarding his brother's suicide and his mother's battle with cancer.
I think being a leader is about being genuine and being real. And as I said, if I wouldn't have talked about those things to the people I did, I wouldn't realize that my friends and a lot more people go through them.
Prescott urged others to talk openly about the difficult topics. Then, sports commentator Skip Bayless said he thought revealing weakness can affect a team's ability to believe in Prescott in tough moments.
They're all looking to you to be their CEO, to be in charge of the football team. Because of all that, I don't have sympathy for him going public with, "I got depressed. I suffered depression early in COVID to the point that I couldn't even go work out."
Standing around, you know what you're supposed to have on.
Gerald Warmack oversees more than just football players. He's also the athletic director. He thinks it's powerful to show someone they aren't in it alone.
The hard part about that is our society, especially dealing with young men, have taught them that, emotions is a weakness. So as an adult male, I try to show vulnerability to them and let them know that, yeah, you might be struggling with this, but I'm struggling with it as well.
That's especially true when it comes from a professional athlete.
Dak Prescott coming out and sharing that shows that he's not just a multi-million-dollar person, but he's a human being. And until we can start developing empathy for the people in our society who struggle not only physically but mentally, we're going to be in trouble.
Warmack thinks it helps more young people share their struggles, and he's heard them.
I took a phone call about a kid who wanted to commit suicide. And I was the first person he thought of to call. But I don't think it's weakness when you share the fact that you're struggling with your mental health. I actually think it's courage.
At Seton, they've spent the first 15 minutes of practice talking about their fears with their teammates.
Which really just brought us close together, and then we would burn them. So then we could completely destroy all the negativity.
First off, just know that it's a real thing, and one way of managing that is by talking to somebody about it. And that process of talking to somebody about it is not a perfect process.
Steve Grafe knows about the highs and lows of sports. He was part of Ohio State's 2002 national championship team. Now, he focuses on the well-being of athletes to help them through the Skip Bayless moments of their lives.
It's important to just be mindful that we have a long way to go in the mental health discussion to help people understand we are human beings. Human beings are going to struggle from time to time. It's not weird. It's not weak. It just is.
You can see an injury, whereas when you have a mental health problem, it's not something you can see, which is really hard for a coach to really notice.
And thanks to those kids who
for being
talked
so
to us.
open and brave.
It's not an easy thing to talk about, and they did a great job talking to us about
Breaking
that.
down the stigma. I'm glad to see them out there talking about the struggles that they have.
Absolutely.